This concludes our regular agenda. Now we come to item 19-262, non-agenda speakers. We have three. The first speaker is William Conley. Sir, you have 5 minutes.
Excuse me, sir. Good evening, Mr. Mayor, council, and staff. I come here very angry, and the reason I'm not going to be harsh with you at all, but I've come here to talk about my personal health and my personal property. The portion that is called Admiral's Landing, we are in siege by skateboarders and people that do that. When I ask them to leave, they refuse to go. They laugh at me, say the police aren't coming. They'll never be here. I'm not worried about it. I'm not leaving. Just recently, I had 4 young men. I'm saying they're 16, 17 years old. They decided if I kept asking them to leave, they wouldn't leave. They were destroying my property, or the property of Admiral's Landing. I asked them to leave. They surrounded me, the 4 of them, and the one boy said, well, there's 4 of us. There's only one of this old guy. Well, my daughter came out, and she hollered at them. And they turned to her, and the language they used on her was unforgivable. That's happened many, many, many times over the years to me. When you call 911, they say you're on a priority list. They may or may not be here. Just recently, 4 young men came, and I said, men. They came on bicycles with packs on their back. They were on our flex court. They went through our equipment. They opened the equipment which somebody had broke. I'm not saying they stole it, I don't know who stole it, but we've lost several hundred, I guess this kid died. We lost several $100s in sports equipment that we use on the flex. There's no reason that I can't defend my property without being threatened by young people. To have them come and tell me that they're going to do something for me, whatever they're going to do. I've been many times, but the last 2 worried me. Soon, next week, I'll be 85 years old. I don't think that I'm in any condition to take on these young people. But to have them attack my daughter, to have them attack my neighbors, the filth that they comes out of their mouths is just unconscionable. But they have destroyed the property, and they've done it for years. The homeless sleep underneath us. Our neighbors have called about them to go. You talk to the homeless. I've gone down and asked them, could you please remove yourself? No, I'm not going to do that. The police are never going to come. They just ignore you. The trash that we pick up is there all the time. I've been picking up, people laugh at me. I walk around with a stick picking things up. But I'm going to tell you, once again, there is no reason in this city that I defend my property, that I'm attacked on personal property, and they tell me the police are never going to come. What are you talking about? When I called 911 just recently, you can check the record, because I asked the girl, am I sure this is on a record? She said yes. She said the police might be there in 2 hours. I'd already sat outside waiting 2 hours. That's 4 hours. I just went in the house and gave up. I've talked to other neighbors. They've given up calling the police because they never show up. They have someplace else to be. Last year, a young lady police officer did show up. And she explained that she was at the other end of the city, why it took her so long to get here, and that she was very apologetic. And I went down and saw the then city police chief with Mrs. Chapman, and I talked to her about it. I said, oh, we're going to do better. It's never happened. So I ask you to talk to the new chief of police and somebody, when I call and say that I'm in danger, I don't expect to be laying on the ground waiting 4 hours for someone to come and save me. Thank you for your time. I'm sorry I had to tell you this, but it's true, and you can ask the people in Old Town the same thing. When you walk up High Street, the homeless are there constantly, and I have to laugh about this one. The homeless man stopped me the other day and said, can I borrow $20 off you? He said, I haven't eaten for 3 years, and he's standing there with a cell phone, a cigarette, and a Coke in his hand. And so I give him a couple of dollars, but What I'm telling you is that I do wish you people would look into it and do something about it. Thank you for your time. I hope I haven't insulted anybody.
Thank you, sir. Dr. Patton, would you have the appropriate deputy meet with Mr. Conley, get the details, and explain trespassing and power of attorney? Thank you. Our next speaker is Patricia Knight, and ma'am, you have 5 minutes.
Good evening, Mr. Leader, members of City Council. Every 65 seconds, someone in the United States develops Alzheimer's disease. 5.8 million Americans are living with the disease. By 2050, this number is projected to rise to nearly 14 million. Alzheimer's disease is the 6th leading cause of death in the United States. The Alzheimer's Association provides critical services such as caregiver support groups here in the city of Portsmouth and 24/7 helpline to senior residents of Portsmouth. These services are free of charge to caregivers, thanks in part to fundraising efforts of the association's signature event, the Walk to End Alzheimer's. I have been a member of the Alzheimer's volunteer committee for the walk for over 10 years. My mother was diagnosed with dementia in 2004, and I moved her here from New Jersey to live with me. And she lived with me from 2005 into 2011 when she passed away. So I have a stake in seeing this disease eradicated. It's for this reason I'd like to ask the city of Portsmouth to form a walk team to raise money for this year's Walk to End Alzheimer's. There are 2 events. One is on September 14th in Suffolk, and the other event is on September 21st in Virginia Beach. Registration is easy. You can just go to alz.org/walk. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, ma'am. Our next speaker is Stacy Dobbins, and ma'am, you have 5 minutes. I'm sorry, sir, you have 5 minutes.
Good evening, Mayor, City Council members. I live in this 3700 block of town, been living there for 12 years now, and with all the close down on College Drive, I've seen traffic increase on Town Point Road probably about 150%. I know the police officers have more important things to do with the high crime rate rather than just to patrol my neighborhood, but I would like to see some type of police presence there, because over the last 3 months, I just noticed, just watch traffic go by and everybody's doing like this. Just Wednesday, as I was preparing my dinner my breakfast before I went to work, I heard a clash outside. So I opened the door, walked out, and my side mirror, my car is parked in the street, my side mirror was laying, from my pickup truck, was laying in my front lawn. The speed limit down there is 25 zone. But I noticed from time to time with the traffic I'm judging, they gotta be at least traveling 45. Now when I walk my grandson out to catch the school bus in the morning, when school was going on, I have to stand there sometimes 15, 20 minutes because traffic is just coming so fast. I know we can't afford for police officers to patrol that neighborhood constantly all the time, but would somebody take in consideration maybe some speed humps to slow the traffic down? Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Dr. Pat, would you have Deputy City Manager LaHorse Pace speak with him so we can get the details and you can address this problem?
Yes, sir.
This concludes our agenda for this evening. Thank you for coming. This meeting is adjourned.